Jack the Ripper, the shadow of Whitechapel. The gas lamps cast long shadows across Dorset Street as Inspector Frederick Abberline pulled his coat tighter against the autumn chill. Another report had come in, the fourth this week, of suspicious activity in Whitechapel's maze-like alleys. The year was 1888, and London's East End had become a hunting ground. Abberline's boots clicked against the cobblestones as he made his way past the Ten Bells pub. Inside, working girls huddled close, sharing worried whispers over half-empty pints. They knew better than to walk alone these days, but poverty left them few choices. The inspector recognized several faces, Mary Jane Kelly among them, her bright red hair unmistakable even through the grimy window. She caught his eye and nodded slightly, a gesture of familiar resignation. The investigation had consumed him entirely. His desk at Scotland Yard was buried under witness statements, each more confusing than the last. The newspapers weren't helping, publishing wild theories and sensational letters allegedly from the killer himself. "Dear boss," they began, signing off with that infamous name, Jack the Ripper. The press had latched onto it, and now all of London trembled at those three words. In his pocket, Abberline carried the latest medical examiner's report. Dr. Thomas Bond's precise handwriting detailed the horrific precision of the murders, surgical skill mixed with savage fury. The killer knew anatomy, that much was clear. But was he a doctor gone mad? A butcher? A barber surgeon? The list of suspects grew daily, while solid evidence remained frustratingly elusive. The inspector turned down a narrow alley, where the stench of the nearby Thames mingled with the smoke from factory chimneys. Here, in these shadowy corners of the Empire's greatest city, poverty and desperation created perfect hunting grounds for a predator. The wealthy West End residents read about the murders over their morning tea, but here in Whitechapel, terror walked the streets alongside its residents. A woman's scream pierced the night, sending Abberline running toward its source. It turned out to be nothing, just a drunken argument outside a gin palace, but each false alarm frayed his nerves further. The killer was out there, perhaps watching even now, blending seamlessly into the crowd of dock workers, street vendors, and immigrants that called these streets home. Back at his office later that night, Abberline studied the map pinned to his wall. Red pins marked each confirmed killing: Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes. Each victim carefully chosen, each murder more brutal than the last. The pattern was there, he was sure of it, hidden in the maze of streets and times and witnesses. But like the shadows cast by his office's gas lamp, the truth remained just out of reach. He thought of Mary Jane Kelly, still alive when he'd passed the 10 Bells earlier. Would she remain so? The killer had shown no signs of stopping, and the streets of Whitechapel held countless potential victims. Every night brought the possibility of another body, another red pin in his map, another family left to mourn. As fog rolled in from the Thames, casting a ghostly pall over the East End, Abberline knew sleep would elude him yet again. Somewhere in this city of millions, a killer walked free. Whether he was a doctor, a royal, a barber, or a butcher, he had managed to turn London's poorest district into his own private hunting ground. And despite all the power of Scotland Yard, despite the hundreds of officers patrolling the streets, despite the countless hours of investigation, Jack the Ripper remained a shadow, present everywhere, but impossible to grasp. The gas lamps flickered, and in their uncertain light, Whitechapel held its breath, waiting for the killer to strike again.